She's left a cozy cafe by her aunt. The aunt is traveling around like following her dreams. She's not dead because that would not be cozy. Something else I've been reading recently, Hoe overleef ik boeken. Just want to give a special shout out to Jonas, my boy. He's so dramatic. I personally relate to this gay tween boy so much. The drama every time a crush of his doesn't like him back is so me. Brought out some new tarot bookmarks in the shop. Another favorite thing that happened is my new tattoo. Oh, wait, how do I show that? Whenever I get a new tattoo, I feel like the hottest person alive. Until sort of like the new tattoo riz sort of like dims down and you're used to it. Now I still have like the new tattoo riz and I'm like, who's that girl? Sorry, I'm being so out of pocket right now. Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name's Leora and I make videos on here about reading, writing, sometimes other stuff as well, but mostly books. And today I'm finally back with a recent reads video. I'm also going to be discussing some life updates and just what I've been up to because I've not uploaded as much as I would have wanted to. And I've been doing a lot of other exciting work things that I want to tell you about. And then I'm going to be discussing some of my recent reads, some of my recent favorites. And after that, I want to discuss some general favorites as well. I've never really done this before, but I think it could be a lot of fun to just discuss some things that I've been loving. Like I have an album I want to talk about, I have a journal spread that I want to show you, and like a candle. I don't know, there's like a pile of things here that I'm excited about and I want to share. So get yourself a cozy beverage, settle in with like a nice blanket or something, and let's get right into it. Before we do that though, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is our friends over at bookofthemonth.com. Book of the Month is a super popular and fast growing service for readers. Their mission is to help you discover the books that you love, and they do this by promoting new and emerging authors. Every month this beautiful blue box arrives on your doorstep, and the Book of the Month team has gone through many reads, early and new release titles, and they have carefully curated a selection. This is wonderful for mood readers like me. I can never make choices, and Book of the Month makes reading so much more fun and so much easier for you to choose what to read because their selections are all great, so you can't really go wrong. What is even more wonderful is that you can also choose an audiobook and listen to it in the Book of the Month app. So every month you choose a book. Let me show you some of my personal highlights when it comes to this month's selection. So I would personally choose either of these books, and the first one is Tomb Sweeping by Alexandra Chang. This is a compelling and perceptive story collection set across the US and Asia, immersing you in the lives of immigrant families, grocery store employees, expecting parents, and guileless lab assistants. It sounds really beautiful and I love stories about human connection. This one I am so excited about. This is Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. And this is described as Heartstopper meets A Knight's Tale, a queer medieval rom-com YA debut about love, friendship, and being brave enough to change the course of history. So that sounds amazing. So if you live in the US or in Canada, I would definitely recommend you check out Book of the Month. Next to all of these benefits, Book of the Month is also risk-free. You can skip any time, any month, and you will not be charged. Plus, they have the best price for new release hardcover fiction. So don't hesitate and head on over to bookofthemonth.com and get your first hardcover for only $5 this month using my code SWEATER. So definitely head on over to bookofthemonth.com, check out their other picks or pick either of these, and use my code SWEATER to get your first book for only $5. That's an amazing deal. Get ready for some winter reading. Thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring the channel and enabling me to keep creating content on here. And now let's get into the talking about the books and the other things. So first up, a little life update. I've been good. I hope you guys have been doing good as well. I know I've been gone for like 2 weeks, so this is maybe like a tad dramatic, but you know, I always wanted to upload once a week. There was even a period of time where I uploaded twice a week, which I think now is overly ambitious. That's not something I can do with my shop and my illustration work next to it. But I do kind of miss trying to upload once a week. But with my shop that I run, I'm an illustrator and I sell like whimsical fantasy, but also just bookish illustrations, bookmarks, art prints, all different things, stationery, and some exciting new things as well that I want to talk about in a bit. I sell them in my online store, leoraaileen.com. You can check it out if you like. And next to that, I also work as an illustrator and I'm writing a book. So I'm like, there's a lot of things I enjoy doing. That's a lot of passions I have and things that I'm excited about. And I always love YouTube because it's like a space where I can talk about all these things that I enjoy, But it does also mean that sometimes I have to make choices in order to like not get burned out, because I could definitely feel my workload leaning in on my mental health these past few months. And I just noticed in my body that I was tired so much, and like so deeply tired. And you know, my anxiety started getting a lot worse. I have general anxiety disorder. I just noticed like a lot of patterns from when my anxiety was worse, like way back. So I just knew I had to take a step back and make some choices as to what work I was going to be picking up and what work I was just going to let go for a bit. So I haven't uploaded as much on here as I wanted to, but actually I feel kind of proud of myself for making these decisions and prioritizing. You know, it's not always been my strong suit because there's just so many things that I enjoy doing. So I feel good, and I also feel good to be back and to be filming and like excited to be making content. So yeah. So like a general life update, earlier this year I was in therapy again for the first time in years for my general anxiety disorder. And during that period, I definitely struggled because, you know, getting back into therapy is always difficult. You have to adapt again and like be open to therapy, and it can be difficult to manage. But these past few months, I've really felt like the results of that rounded off therapy bit, like sort of working through now all these months later, that there's like a lot of different patterns and healthier coping mechanisms that I've adapted, and I just feel really proud. I'm really happy. And not to say that there's like no struggle. Like, yes, there's been a lot of panic attacks and, you know, there's been struggle. And a thing I deal with the most is that I feel very angry with myself and like sort of upset when I have mental health struggles again, because I'm like, I've been to therapy, I should be fine now. What do you mean I'm struggling? But I'm trying to accept more that it's part of it, which is also something that I've worked on in therapy. So this is very meta, but you know, I think it's nice to be open about these things because I know a lot of you guys deal with mental health struggles every now and then as well. And I think it's definitely a thing that we should be more open about in general. And I don't know, if you went to therapy this year, or if you're considering going to therapy, I definitely say just do it. It can be difficult and, you know, a struggle, but if you have the means to, it could also help you a lot. And if you did go to therapy, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy you did that, and, you know, yay, go us. Anxious girlies unite. Okay, then next to all of that, I've started doing a lot of markets this year with my art shop, and it's been so much fun. I'm just so excited to be doing all these markets and events and conventions. It's been really exciting because I get to meet people face to face that enjoy my art, and some of them like are even viewers or people that love my content on here or on Instagram or on TikTok. And it's so fun to meet people face to face when you've been so used to, for years on end, just making content like from online, you know, selling stuff from online. So then see these people in real life is so much fun. So that's been wonderful. I had a really big event this November, which was Dutch Comic Con, that I've started doing now. I did the one in the spring as well, and now this was the winter edition, and I'm doing spring next year as well. Comic Con 2024, here we come. So that was very exciting. It was a lot less stressful than the first time doing such a big convention. I think mostly because I'd done it already once before, so I knew a bit better what to expect. I'd made some friends, you know, amongst other vendors and illustrators and artists. I just had a lot of fun this year, and I'm really excited for next year. I'll show some clips now of Comic Con because I filmed a little bit here and there, and I'd love to show that to you guys. Okay, so next to Comic Con, I've also started to sell my artwork in more stores, which is really exciting as well. So it's been sold in 3 stores as of right now. So there's a bookstore in Amsterdam. So if you ever visit Amsterdam, you can buy my art there, which is really exciting as long as it's still in stock. This is Scheltema, the bookstore. It's a really lovely bookstore. It's beautiful. It has like, I don't know, like 7 floors of books. It's gigantic. My bookmarks are to be found next to the fantasy section. So if you ever visit Amsterdam and you want to buy some of my art, I would love if you did so. If you go to my website, which is leoraaileen.com, and you go to events, you can always also see the stores where they sell my products in more detail. But I'll try to also put it in the description if I don't forget. And then they're also being sold in a store in Arnhem. Very excited about as well. Het Colorfon, also a wonderful bookstore. They're being sold in a store in Rotterdam where I live as well. So if you ever are in Rotterdam, Amsterdam or Arnhem, you can shop my bookmarks. And you can also, of course, order with my store. It really feels like just like a bragging update right now. I don't know, I'm sorry. I just wanted to share some things from my life and my work and things that I'm excited about. But I do realize now, it sounds a bit like, look at me. I'm sorry. I'm happy. Speaking of bragging, I guess we're just moving right into this. One of my stories got published. So as you may know, I've been writing a book. So my book is like a book of essays and stories about my life. It's like very much about like identity, coming of age, queer struggles, trying to discover who you are, etc, etc. I'm being so dramatic about it. I'm trying to tell like vulnerable stories about my life with humor, I guess. And I wrote a story about vaginismus and my struggle with being intimate, and it's something that's very near and dear to me. I also made a writing vlog on it, and that story got published. Oh my god, so exciting. So this is a feminist magazine in the Netherlands, Opzij. This is the September-August edition, and my story got published. It's 6 pages. When I got the edition, I was like, that's wild. I also did the illustrations myself, you know, being an illustrator, so that's so exciting. I talked about this already in a writing vlog, but then I never uploaded that on time, which is a bummer because like back then I could still say like go to your local bookstore and buy it if you're in the Netherlands, but like now you can't anymore because, you know, this edition has been done. But yeah, very exciting. Just wanted to briefly share that, and I am hoping to edit that writing vlog, which has been in the works for so long now, very soon. Another big thing that recently happened is that I had my shop update and I've launched some beautiful new products I'm very excited about. I just briefly want to show you guys the things I am most excited about. So I brought out some new tarot bookmarks in this shop. I am planning on doing the entire major arcana. We still have quite a few to go. So we have the Emperor. I am very pleased with this design. And then we also have the Wheel of Fortune. Very excited about these. Another bookmark that I designed that I'm kind of obsessed with is the Pumpkin Spice Latte Season bookmark. Oh, such a beauty YouTuber. This one is so fun because if you put it in your book, the pumpkin will like stick out of your book, which is just really cute. I was inspired by this book cover. This is a book I'll talk about in a bit, but yeah, this is how that would look. Look, it's so cute. When I designed it, I was like so excited. I often just design things that I like, that I would like to have. And that's how I come up with my designs. Then there's also some new sticker sheets in the web shop, and one of them is this mushroom sticker sheet. That's also like a magical frogs sticker sheet that I love. And then I also have these new bookmarks with moths on them and some mushrooms as well. And this is definitely the pièce de résistance of this shop update, and I'm just so excited about it. But I've launched notebooks. Sorry, I can't act normal right now. Look. I am so excited that I've brought out these notebooks. They are lined so you can write down all your stories and beautiful thoughts, and they all come with a nice ribbon, and they also have an elastic, so you could do this. But of course you don't have to, you could also just wrap it in the back, which is what I do sometimes. But yeah, I'm very excited about these notebooks, and I also have this one as an art print if you're not looking for a notebook, but you do like the design. So yeah, there's some work things and some things that have been happening in my life that I'm really excited about. If you like anything that I just showed you from the shop update, I'd love if you would place an order. Again, my website is leoraaileen.com, and I promise I will shut up about it now. And if you would like to, you can let me know like one thing that you've been up to in your life recently in the comments down below, so I can know what you guys have been doing out there. And then now finally, what you've been waiting for, because you're like, why is this girl blabbering on about her business? We're getting to talk about some books. So I already briefly showed this book a moment ago. This is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Gilmore. Like I said already, I did a lot of markets recently, and a thing that kept happening to me, like it was not a conscious choice, it just kept happening, is I would make cash money on the markets and then I would spend it immediately on books, because a lot of these markets are in bookstores. So that's really dangerous for me. I don't know who came up with that concept, but you can't do this to me, okay? I will buy books from the money I just earned. And that is also what happened when I bought this book, because I saw somebody at my stand holding it and I was like, what is that? Please, that looks so cozy and so cute and I need to get that. So she taught me about the book and then I just went out and got it immediately because I had like a friend manning the stand with me and I was like, you stay here, I'm gonna go see if they have that book. So yeah, that went wrong or right, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, I have bought a lot of books recently anyway, whoops. So if you guys were up for a book haul, let me know. And I've actually already read this book as well because I just immediately went into it, because sometimes you buy a book and it's actually like the exact right mood you're in, and that is what happened to me with this book. So we follow Jeannie and she's just moved to a small town, of course. The town is called Dream Harbor. It's like, this book is so Hallmark. It's so Hallmark core. So Jeannie has just moved to Dream Harbor and she's left a cozy cafe by her aunt. The aunt is traveling around like following her dreams. She's not dead because that would not be cozy. So Jeannie is like, this is wonderful. I have a very boring desk job and I want to like invent a new Jeannie, you know, and live like in this cute town and make all my cozy cafe dreams come true. So she starts running the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and then there's this local farmer. His name is Logan and he brings like fresh produce and she's like, oh my god, I'm so attracted to this man. Oh no. And I'm like, why is it a problem? Why is it a problem? This man seems wonderful. Just start dating him. What is your issue? But Jeannie's like, I need to be the new Jeannie. Oh my god, I swear, the amount of times the word new Jeannie were used in this book made me very tired. The first part of the book, I was listening to the audiobook and then later I dived into the physical book. It's very Gilmore Girl coded as well, and I think like the author's pen name being Laura Gilmore says it all. I enjoyed many aspects of this book. It's very cozy, it's very like atmospheric, it's perfect for read, and it's very funny and lighthearted, but it also just felt like a little bit on the surface. And I know it's a cozy romance, it's not supposed to be like deep literature or anything, but I've also read a lot of romance where we did dive into like some deeper subjects, some more difficult things, and I felt like this book kind of got stuck on the surface just a little bit, and it dragged a bit in the middle as well. There was definitely a point where I was like, oh my god, just get together, guys. What is the hustle? There's also like a really weird sort of B-plot rolling around about something or someone potentially sabotaging the cafe, which was entertaining to me. I really enjoyed that subplot. Then the next book I wanted to talk about is a graphic novel called A Gift for a Ghost. I read this a few nights ago on my iPad. I was just in the mood for a graphic novel and I really enjoy reading them on my iPad, so I chose this one because I thought it looked like spooky and cute, and it's a really weird story. Like, it had me a little bit confused because it's like sort of a dual timeline thing. So there's like a haunting back in like Victorian times, I guess, not sure, and then there's like a modern day girl sort of coming of age and discovering herself, and these two stories kind of intertwine. It's really interesting because it's like a coming of age set in both eras, and it's like surprisingly similar themes, even though it's like across all these times. I mostly just enjoyed the artwork and the colouring of this. I love when graphic novels stick to like a colour scheme and they do it so well, this one especially. An interesting thing is that the characters don't have faces, so it's like the illustration style is like sort of faceless in a weird way. And I felt like that did take away a little bit of the emotion we could have seen in the illustrations. But I did really enjoy it as a read. I thought the story was interesting and it was very atmospheric mostly, which is, you know, one of the things I enjoy most in books, when they're just like really atmospheric. So that was good for me. Another ghost book that I read was A Ghost of a Chance by Brittany Kelly. This book was crazy, I guess. I have no better words for it. If you want to know my full thoughts, definitely watch my reading vlog that I did on this, because that vlog is a lot of fun, because this book is crazy. I'll just briefly go into it. It's like a witchy romance. It's about a girl who moves into her auntie's guest house, and it's like a witchy, eclectic aunt. The guest house is called the Pussy Palace, and it's like a bachelorette hub, actually, usually. And then there's this grumpy guy next door that's like fed up with the Pussy Palace activities. I know, so many weird things happen in this book. If you want to know, you should just check it out for yourself and check my vlog, because, you know, it was so much fun. Something else I've been reading recently are the Hoe Overleef boeken. If you're a Dutchie, you know all about these. These were the it books to read if you were a young girl growing up in the Netherlands in like the 2010s, I guess. These are absolutely amazing. I have, I don't know, like 12 of them up until now. There's more, and a new one just recently came out, which is why I'm rereading them. It's like a blast from the past. I'm getting so much nostalgia from being a tween girl. These books are so much fun. I think it's like the Dutch equivalent to like, what's that book called? Like Angus Thongs and French Kissing. I don't know what I mean, but It's like a Dutch phenomenon. So if you're Dutch, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm in love with Nose again. I just love Rosa, even though she's the most dramatic main character I've ever read about. And like, these books are kind of insane. Like, especially the first book, like they almost die like 16 times for no reason. That keeps happening in a lot of these books. They're obviously catered towards children and young teens, but still, they're like so dramatic. And I also just want to give a special shout out to Jonas, my boy. He's so dramatic. I personally relate to this gay tween boy so much. The drama every time a crush of his doesn't like him back is so me. Anyway, I've been having so much fun reading these. Ooh, and then another book I really want to talk about is, regrettably, I'm About to Cause Trouble by Amy McNee, which I've talked about a bit before on the channel as well. This was a really fun historical witch book. Yes, I know, lots of witch reads again. I'm sorry, I guess. It's about like this uptight, royal, well, she's not royal, but she's like, you know, more of a like society rich girl that gets like banned from her family estates, and she has to live with the witches because she has a witch's mark, and she has to learn to live with the witches and accept herself for what she is, and she also has to be like a bit less of an ass in general. This book was a lot of fun. It had so much humor and it was so lighthearted but still touched on some beautiful subjects of like discovering yourself, discovering love and friendship and true belonging later in your life, and it was beautiful. I loved it. And of course, another book that I've recently read that I've absolutely adored was Between. I've talked a lot about Between already because I made an entire reading vlog dedicated to it, so I guess you could check that out as well if you haven't seen it yet. It's just me giving shout outs to myself. This was such a fun fantasy. It was hilarious. I definitely had some critical points about it as well, but it was mainly just so much fun. It made me laugh out loud every other page. We follow Sasha Pierce, and she also moves to a small town to pursue like a substitute teacher job. And when she gets to the small town, she starts dreaming again, but she hasn't dreamed in like years. So something weird is going on, and there's like this sexy wizard in her dreams. I'm like, oh, what's up with that? He's wearing leather pants. Anyway, she discovers that this witchy, whimsical, atmospheric, Halloweeny town is actually hiding a portal to another magical world. And there's also a coven of witches, and that's all I'll say. It's really good. I enjoyed it so much. It's not a perfect book, but I really loved it. So I go deeper into like my thoughts and like the few weird things in that book in my other videos. Okay, so that was the reading portion of the video, and now I want to get into some of my general favorites, I guess. Ooh, this is like kind of exciting, but kind of scary, because I'm like sort of afraid that if I don't talk about books, you guys will not be interested in me. But what I've been dying to talk about is one of my favorite albums of this year that I've absolutely listened to so much, it's low-key embarrassing, and that is Flounder by Queenie. And like everybody I talk to about it, nobody knows this, and that's upsetting to me because it's so good. So I found Queenie through TikTok because one of her songs, Touch Tank, is very popular on there and like had its trending moment on the app, and I think it's a beautiful song. I love that song. I listened to it so much, and then when the entire album came out, I was immediately obsessed, and I listened to the whole album and then the deluxe version, and I'm still listening to it on repeat. Like, I love listening to this album when I go for a walk in the morning. I would say it's like a mix between Florence and the Machine and then like Gilmore Girls background guitar music and sort of like, I don't know, something folksy and beautiful. I don't know, it's also a little bit country here and there. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this, but it's beautiful indie music that you guys should listen to. I'll name some of my favorite tracks. I can't play them on here obviously, but you guys should just look this up because it's so good. And I also love the cover art. Security Question and Itch are like some of my top songs. Mostly Security Question because it's so funny and lighthearted, but then the lyrics kind of are beautiful and like hit hard in a way. I don't know, I think she's a great songwriter. I just think the lyrics are beautiful, and I'm the kind of person that always really listens to lyrics. And I mean, obviously I'm a reader and a writer, so I guess that makes sense, but I'm always really listening to lyrics, and I love Queenie's lyrics. She has this one line, I'm not sure in which song it is, but it's like proof of Jesus in a bowl of soup or something like that. That sounds like weird out of context, but I promise it's really good. And I also love Get What You Get because it's like such a fun like interlude. Oh, it's good that I'm not a music YouTuber because this is not going the way I anticipated. And then Gold Ring, which is on the deluxe album, is so good. Listen to this, guys. Then another favorite thing that happened is my new tattoo. Oh, wait, how do I show that? I don't know how to show that. Oh. Okay, I got a new tattoo. I'll film a close-up so you guys can see. I'm really excited about it. It was done by Lara in Eindhoven. Her Instagram handle is plantpoked if you want to check her out. She's amazing, and I hope she's going to be doing more of my tattoos because I'm planning on getting some of my own work tattooed on me, and I think she would be the perfect person for it. So I got this little frame done. I thought it was so cute. She had it in her flash, and then you could choose like the artwork inside the frame yourself. And I am obsessed with Alphonse Mucha, who is one of my favorite artists. I just love the whole Art Nouveau art style, and I went to one of his exhibitions in Den Haag last year in The Hague, and it was stunning, and I learned so much about his beautiful art and his life. And he does a lot of like sort of season themed artworks, which is something I love doing in my own art as well. He's really inspired me with that, I guess. I have like a lot of Mucha art books as well, because it's just one of the artists I love so much. And he has this series of art, and it's like the seasons, and then I got the painting for autumn tattooed on me. So I'm really excited about that. I love it. Every time I look at my arm, I'm like so happy again. And also, whenever I get a new tattoo, I feel like the hottest person alive, like the following next 2 months, until sort of like the new tattoo riz sort of like, you know, dims down and you're used to it. But now I still have like the new tattoo riz, and I'm like, who's that girl? Sorry. Okay, then next up, I want to show you one of my favorite journal spreads that I've done recently. I love journaling. It's one of my favorite pastimes. It helps me process my very deep, big emotions, because I have a lot of emotions and they need to be processed, and journaling really helps me, and it makes me really happy to like sort of keep like little keepsakes from things I've done and places I've been. So this is my current journal. I have like a whole pile of journals because I've been journaling since I was 15, so that's 10 years, I guess. This is the current one. These are some stickers I got from Mirte Hoijmans, one of my favorite Dutch illustrators, and this is like a little butterfly pin. And then I made this sticker for the back that says Leo's journal. The fun thing about being an illustrator with her own shop is like I can print stickers on demand for myself if I want to, so I definitely do. So I've been getting more into journaling again recently. Like my thing with journaling, it also always kind of comes and goes. There's always periods of time where I journal less. My last journal before this one I think took like 2 years to fill up, and then one before that took like 3 months. So there's always periods of time where I journal a lot more, and then there's times where I do it less. But recently I've been getting back into it, and I've been very excited about this, so I thought I'd show you guys one of my favorite journal spreads that I've made. This is a painting and an illustration as well, I guess, that I made on vacation this year when I was in Italy. And I put some leaves from the Italian garden in there as well. So there's like a little piece of Italy in here. And then here is like a list of thankful. I make a lot of lists about like things I'm thankful for to sort of try and attempt to retrain my brain into being positive and not coming up with like 1,000 anxious scenarios. And this is an illustration that I did with one of my friends. Her name is Jo. She's one of my best friends. And I kind of made like sketches of all my friends during this holiday. So I also have a sketch of Brit. This was her in like a little cafe in Varenna in Italy, and I thought she looked so pretty. And another favourite journal spread is my sort of autumn manifesting collage that I made with all these autumn elements about things I love about autumn, which is my favourite season. I made this sort of dump of things I got from Comic-Con, and like little cards and tea bags and things I'd sort of gotten together over time. So yeah, those are some of my favourite recent journal spreads. And now my last recent favourite that I want to share is a candle. So if you know me, or if you've been on this channel for a while, you might know I love scented candles. I have a true scented candle problem. I buy so many scented candles, it's low-key embarrassing at this point. But I will be ashamed no more, and I'm going to show off one of my recent favourites. This is from North Muse, which is one of my favourite scented candle brands. They always have such whimsical and stunning designs. And they have this tarot series with like tarot themed candles, and this is their candle for the star. And I've burned it entirely, but it smells so good. Like as soon as I smell this smell again, it like takes me back. So the thing that they do with these candles, which is really cool, they put like clear quartz crystals in the candle. So I feel like the crystals are like kind of, you know, their good intentions like vibing off into the air as I burn the candle. This one had a really good smell. It kind of reminded me of Lush's body lotion, which is called Sleepy, or their body spray, which is called Twilight, which is my favorite that I always use. And it kind of reminded me of that smell. I think there's tonka bean in this, which is just a smell I really, really love, and like a little bit of jasmine as well. And so I really enjoyed this candle. It was like so relaxing and beautiful, and just this smelled really good. Okay, I actually had a lot of fun talking about like my other favorites and giving you like a little life update, so I really hope you enjoyed all of that chatting as well next to my book talk. Don't forget to check out this week's sponsor, Book of the Month, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know a recent favourite, a recent thing you've been up to, and a recent read if you want to. And yeah, if you don't know what to comment, just leave me a nice star emoji. And I'll see all of you in the next video, hopefully. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, guys!